Welcome back to the channel, guys. Episode 27 of the Youth Intake Challenge. Obviously, we're in Serie A right now. Last episode, I was showing you guys the first half of the season. Now we've played up 30 games in total, so we're 8 off the final end of the season. This episode, though, we've got the Youth Intake with the new facility upgrades and the new head of youth development. So let's see how that gets on. And also, let's have a look at our players that have developed and where we are in the league. This has been my favourite ever season in this Youth Only Challenge. We have been absolutely amazing. We're still in 8th. We aren't going to finish in Europe, which is quite rightly so as well. Crazy that we're even in the conversation. I mean, 5 points away. We won't do it, but wow, the fact that we're there. 49 points, which means we're not going to get relegated. And honestly, I don't think we'll come 12th or lower, which is absolutely insane. We're probably going to finish in the top half, which I can't believe. Next season, I doubt we'll finish in the top half. I think we've just taken teams by surprise here, and they've been really aggressive against us because we've got the worst team in the league, and we've just countered the spaces in behind. Next year, I think it probably won't be as, not as easy, but as easy, sort of, to stay up. So the board are absolutely loving us with our performance. We have been in and around 7th, 8th, pretty much all season. The lowest we've been is like 11th or 10th. 11th, I think it's 11th. 11th there after like about 10 games. And then we've just been in like 7th and 8th for so long. 8th and 7th. Yeah, that's the average position is around there, which is absolutely mental. Flauto has scored 16 goals now. He's still third top scorer, but he's actually closed the gap on Martins from Roma, which is unbelievable. We've got the intake as well, so that's going to be crazy because talking about the intake, I have facilities now, which are great training facilities, average youth facilities, an exceptional academy coaching, and exceptional youth recruitment. Obviously, exceptional is the highest it can be. So that's 20 out of 20 on both junior coaching and youth recruitment. Great training facilities is fantastic because our players are getting better, but average youth facilities does need work. Now, the youth facilities are related now. They're linked with your reputation of your club. So if I go into my club vision and the board section and I have a look at this, I have got youth facilities in progress right now and they are going to be finished in 2 months. So May time, right? I've also just asked for some more training facilities as well. So that should be getting upgraded. I haven't obviously heard back from them right now. When I saved the video at this point, because I saw the intake message come up, I asked for youth training facilities as well. So from this point, there's probably going to be a new set of training facilities. Because if I show you the finances, we've got 10 million and we're just not worried about money anymore. We're just not. The projection has gone up to 34 million. It's, yeah, we don't have to worry about cash anymore. We should be able to get every single facility upgraded that's needed as long as we don't go down in the next couple of seasons. Obviously, youth facilities require us to go up in reputation. Now, we're 3-star reputation, but if I go to Italy really quick and then click on the major clubs thing down here, it shows you all the reputation. We are down here. Now, I know you can't see that, so I'll scroll slightly. There you go. You can see it now. We have got better rep than every single Serie B club other than Genoa. And at the end of this season, we'll go above Genoa and we'll be rightfully, reputation-wise, a Serie A club, which is pretty insane. There's only us and Monza there, which are below Genoa. Now, I don't know if Genoa are going to finish. They might go up Genoa, so they might be Serie A next season. But it's nice to see us there, and the reputation's caught up because we're about, what's that, 11 seasons in? It's sort of, when you do a Youth Only Challenge and it's gradual, the rep, it sort of catches up quicker than if you start a game in a normal save that normal people play, because I'm obviously an absolute idiot that plays games on hard mode. If you go up from Serie C, Serie B, Serie A, and then you're in Serie A European positions in 4 seasons, the reputation takes a while to catch up. But in this one, it sort of gradually goes up, so it's nicer. It's easier to do. So on that note, we're not far away from 3.5 stars. So if we get past Genoa, which I think we should do, we'll be verging and edging on 3.5-star team. Now, that is big because the youth facility upgrade that we can get, or the 2 upgrades we can get when we get to 3.5 stars, but also when you get to 3.5 stars reputation as a club, you start being able to attract better youngsters as your club. At the end of the season, when it says the reputation has gone up, it does mention that the calibre of players that you can attract to your club goes up, and that means not just transfer market, but also the youth intakes. So that's going to help us out massively. Right, without further ado though, I'm going to show you guys the intake. Well, we're going to show me as well. We're going to show both of us the intake. I've not seen it yet. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to have a look at the existing players and if any of them got any better and if I want to show you guys any of them. So We're going to look at the intake now. Yeah, the training facilities there just got upgraded, and I saw that and thought, right, I'll instantly go in and ask for some more. So there's some more coming up after this, which is nice. I don't want to leave any spaces. I want to just get, as soon as one's done, we're going to work on the next one. I think that's how the best thing to work. So the preview was 3 A's in centre-back, centre midfield, and striker. So we're looking for a centre-back, a centre midfielder, and a striker here. That would be amazing. Obviously, we're looking for good personalities as well. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh! 5-star players. Is that on the bingo sheet? Was it 5 elite talents or 6 I needed? I'll have to go have a look at that. Right. Our annual youth candidate intake has arrived for assessment. While it remains very early in their careers, these players, led by the very gifted Andrea Rocchi, have a real chance of developing into a golden generation. Right, so Andrea Rocchi, the centre-back. Right, okay, so let's have a look at this. So it said there was good centre-backs coming through, and there's actually 3. This guy looks more like a right-back at the minute, or he's natural at right-back, Toffanari. But that's 3 centre-backs. Well, 2 centre-backs natural, and 1 that can play right centre-back and right-back. And there's a winger that's a natural striker, so that's the striker that came through, and that's the central midfielder, is this? He's more of an attacking midfielder, so that's interesting. I wonder if there's a 4.5-star player there. There's a few down here as well. Wow, look at that. Top talents. There's still some 4-star players. They're probably going to be worth signing up as well. That's absolutely crazy. Look at that. That's a different level of player, isn't it? I think you guys can see that as well. Wow, and obviously the training facilities as well. Let's have a look then. I've obviously not seen their personalities, so let's have a look at the youth intake, the youth team view, and then let's sort by. Oh, okay. So the top 2 are unambitious. We need to sort of change that. That's annoying. But then we've got a spirited, we've got a fairly professional at 5-star, and a balance, which is fine. Good media handling styles on almost everybody there. Outspoken's a little bit annoying, but it's fine. It's not the worst. Outspoken and volatile there. He's probably not going to get signed up anyway, but level-headed is really good. Media-friendly and, that's short-tempered and confrontational. So that might need a bit of work as well. But Andrea Rocchi, the guy with the highest current ability alongside Vangione, he's got fairly professional personality and level-headed, and he's a centre-back. So hopefully this guy, like it mentioned in the previous message, is going to be the one. So let's have a look then from the top to the bottom. So we're going to look at Emanuele Ingrosso. Any Italians or anybody that knows Italian names, let me know if that's whichever it is. 3 determination. Not great, unambitious. We need to change them, don't we? We need to really change them. I'm hoping one of these 2 aren't the best. I'm hoping it's these 3, but okay, let's have a look at Ingrosso then as an attacking midfielder. Okay. 14 passing, 14 vision is a very good start. Now, what I've learned in these Youth Academy challenges is to have a look at the weak areas of a player. Now, I'm looking for weak areas, and you could say that 7 acceleration is a weak area. And I would argue, I would probably agree with you and say maybe it is. But physicals improve quite a lot at the start when they're younger, because that's obviously when you're growing and you're growing into your body, etc. Puberty, I guess we call it, right? The other one, maybe dribbling 7. But if that, at 15 years old, if his weakness is dribbling at 7, that's good. It is good, because that can easily be 11, 12. And that's absolutely fine. Because if 7 can be 11 or 12, which is a +4 or 5, then 11 can be 15, 16. That's obviously if he's got really good potential. Might not have. But we have to go into this seeing 5 stars and thinking he's going to be one of the best players in the game. He's probably not, but we have to treat him with that attitude, because he could be. So we have to get the maximum out of his ability. Now, it's going to be hard because we've got a hurdle in front of us straight away. The fact that he's unambitious. He's got some traits, gets into opposition area, which is really good for an attacking midfielder. Tries long-range passes, 14 passing, 14 vision. That is nice. I like that. Decision-making might have to improve a little bit, but that's also fine because only 7. Determination 3 is a worry. Natural fitness 6 isn't great. But I think all in all, we've got a decent little player there. So as soon as he comes through, I think we work on his maybe attacking movement to get his off-the-ball decision-making and anticipation, because they're 7, 7 and 10. We could eventually work on his ball control, which is dribbling. First touch doesn't really need to be touched. And technique, maybe a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to touch physicals to start with because they naturally go up, and I don't want to put time into those at the start. But when they get to like 17, 18, I'll change to physicals if we need to. But I don't think that that's a bad player one little bit. Obviously, like he says there, the problem is, isn't it, is the determination. So we're gonna have to look at potential players that can help us out, team leaders. I don't know if we have any that can help us. We'll see. I'm going to have to set up some mentoring groups. At the moment, I've not needed any, but now we're getting a different level of play, and I sort of have to try and work with him. Anyone previously that was unambitious, I sort of didn't really bother because we didn't have the mentors to change it. Now I'm hoping we do. So next one as well, Matthias Vangioni. He's a right winger / striker. Natural striker, that's the guy that was in the preview. 5 stars current ability. 5 stars, sorry, potential ability, I wish. Determination 5 and unambitious again. So let's have a look. Ah, right, he's really good. He's really, really good. Now, 3 vision is a negative, but 14 dribbling with 14 acceleration, 14 agility. So, like, we were never going to get a player this good in Serie C or Serie B. Now, I know we got Gisti and Bonomi, and they're the best 2 players, but this guy's on a par with that. So, also, I asked for a right winger, didn't I? With Vantagiato now being 24 and full potential. I do think he's potentially going to be our winger. We'll see. But I do need to sort out that determination and that personality. On first glance, though, what we're going to be training him is attacking movement. Again, I want his anticipation up, I want his decision making up, and also his off the ball. That can't hurt as a winger / striker. Then after that, we'll probably work on his final third, which is composure and decisions. Again, I like decision making. I mention it all the time. Decision making for me is one of my most important attributes that I look at. If someone can't make a right decision, it doesn't matter if you can dribble, it doesn't matter if you're fast, it doesn't matter if you can pass, because if you make the wrong decision, just doesn't matter. So decision making is going to be heavily focused on, and his mentals are the weakest area. Now, the only thing I think is really weak is his vision at 3. That could impede him in the final third, but we'll work on that. If we can get up to 7 or 8, shouldn't really do too much damage if the rest of his attributes are really good. Balance 6 we'll obviously work on as well. But yeah, his decisions, his composure, his anticipation, mental attributes are so important. I can't even tell you. So yeah, we'll be working on those. His physicals are fine for now, and his technicals are really, really, really good for now. So Vangioni, again, if Vangioni and Ingrosso had good personalities, it's just a what if, isn't it? It's a what if moment. We're going to have to do really, really well to try. I do wonder if we have a look quite have a look now. I might set some mentoring groups up on the video so you guys can see what I do. In fact, I am going to do that because I like to show a bit of everything. And let's have a look at our hierarchy. Yeah, have you seen though? It's balanced, fickle. Fickle's not terrible. I don't. People don't like it, and it is actually down here in the red, which is weird because it's high ambition. Fickle. So Fino might have to help us out here. Vantagiato is driven, which could help. Sabatini has getting worse, and Gargiulo. I think it's going to have to be a leadership group of those 4, and I'm going to put those 2 in with it. So they've got 2 players each. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but it's part of the game. Okay, right. Well, next one, Manuel Toffanari. He's the right centre back / right wing back, and he's 13 determination, spirited. Let's have a look at Toffanari. Okay, initially, he doesn't look amazing. I'm looking at right back and I'm thinking 6 acceleration, that's not going to help. 4 off the ball because I need him to be able to attack as well. But then I'm thinking, okay, if he can't attack, maybe he's a centre back, but he's only 5'8", so he's definitely not a centre back. So it's looking like a right back at the moment. His anticipation can be worked on. His acceleration can be worked on. Good crossing. These look really weak on this side because they're 1-digit numbers. But if you look, he's got 9-9 passing and marking there. So that's not too bad. Heading 7, first touch 8, dribbling 7. We can work on him. He's a work in progress, but if he's got a really good personality like that and he's got 5-star potential, I don't see why he can't be worked on. Obviously, it says he's fairly susceptible to injuries, which is a little bit annoying. But I think there's a decent player to be worked on there. I do wish I could switch the personalities on this right winger to spirited and then this guy being ambitious, but can't do that, can we, unfortunately? So let's have a look then at the next 5-star player. I'm going to look at Daniele Renai, and we're going to save Andrea Rocchi until the end. I think that makes sense because the message did mention him. So this is a centre-back. balanced personality, 11 determination. Let's have a look. Wow. Okay, instantly. I'm impressed. 6 foot with 13 jumping reach. That could easily be 16, 17 jumping reach. And he could be 6'1", 6'2" when he gets to 18. 8 marking, absolutely fine. 9 positioning. We are going to work on that straight away. In fact, there is a very clear plan here. I can see it straight away without looking at him for longer than 20 seconds. And I'm going to tell you exactly what the plan is. So straight away, my mind has found out that marking 8, positioning 9. The first thing, I need to be working on defensive positioning to get those 2 up, right? Now, what will happen as those 2 go up as well, it also works on decision making, defensive positioning. So he has to work on those 3. So marking, positioning, because he's a defender first and foremost, and then it should boost his decisions slightly. So by the time we finish with that, and marking's 10 and positioning's about 11, his decision should have gone up by 1 or 2, right? So we're looking at 7 or 8. After that's happened, then we work on his final third to get his composure and decision making to about 9 or 10 each, and then we might go back to his marking and his positioning. And all the time that's happening, his physicals are going up as well, because his physicals are really good. Really good for a 15-year-old. Obviously, he's got bravery and aggression, which we really like. Obviously, I don't know if he's dirty. It doesn't say he's dirty, though. Usually, sometimes it says in the cons that he's got like a problem with bending the rules, and that is the dirtiness. He doesn't say that. So it looks like he's Onazi, my head of youth, says he needs to work on his passing and his marking. And if that's the case, his marking's 8. If he needs to work on his marking, that's 8. That's a very good 15-year-old. You guys can see the difference here, can't you, between these players? And I am absolutely buzzing with this save. I'm enjoying it so much. I don't know if you can tell. I hope you can. So Daniel Renai looks to me really positive. I just wished we were playing under 20 matches in a competition, because I'm going to have so many centre-backs under 18s that not all of them are going to be able to get a game. I might have to be a little bit harsh with a few, maybe loan a few out. I don't know. But now we've got good training facilities. I don't really want to loan players out because they'll be in Serie C with like poor and basic training facilities. It's a bit different because like if you're in Germany stands out to me because like even in the 3rd tier they've got like really good facilities. It's crazy. There's such good infrastructure. I think in Germany there's actually a rule. Could be wrong, but I read this somewhere. So if it's not true, tell me, please. I think every single year you have to. German clubs are like sort of not mandated, but like there's a rule. Well, I suppose that is mandated if it's a rule, but they have to put a certain amount into their infrastructure, and it makes sense because they've got like big crowds, big stadiums, even at the lower areas of the game. So Daniele Renai is really good, and he is actually a 1.5 star current ability. So we're going to have a look at Andrea Rocchi now. He's 2 stars and he's fairly professional. So this guy should actually be better than Renai, and I really hope he is. Let's have a look. I mean, he is very good. He is very good. Wow. Oh, okay. So straight away I'm thinking maybe left back. If Frascadore doesn't improve like I hope he does, there's a definite chance here that this guy could be left back because he can dribble 7. That's fine. I can get that to 11, 12, no problem. Crossing 8 could be 12, 13, no problem. Off the ball's a little bit low at 5, but I can get that up to 9, 10, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not really after like wing backs that absolutely bomb on unless they're world class. And his physicals are really good. His mentals he's a different level now of player, isn't he? He's a Serie A youth intake player. You can just see it. He's no weaknesses apart from his off the ball and vision as a centre back and left back. That is what you want, isn't it? Everything else is 7 and above that you need. Everything. I would say 8 and above because you don't really need dribbling as a centre back, but it helps. What a player. I think they're right with that. He is amazing, Rocky. I'm really excited for this. I think he could be better than Zanotti. He probably should be, to be honest, because he's come in now with the new facility upgrades and stuff. Onazi's done a good job. Although I don't know if it is Onazi that's done this job. I think it's probably Cantarelli still that's done this one. Fantastic. Let's have a look then at Michele Messari, who is only 1 star current ability, so he's not going to be as good to start with on the eyes. And he's only 4.5 star potential at the moment. It might change, but he has got a decent personality at fairly professional. So let's have a look at Messari. Okay, a lot of work on him. There's a lot of work to be done. It's mentally there's work for him. He's a little bit raw, isn't he? I like his physicals. He's got flair, he's got work rate, his off the ball is 4, his decision making 4, his composure 4, and his anticipation 4. So we're going to have to hard focus for 2 or 3 seasons. Attacking movement and final third. Don't really care about the tackling and marking, but there's a lot of work to be done. But I'm willing to do it because we don't have many attackers in the youth squads. So Masari should play every single game for the under-18s. And I've overhauled the coaching staff as well. I'll show you some of the coaches. So that's quite nice. Right. Next, we've got 3 players now that are 4 stars. Now, remember, they could easily be 4.5 or even 5 after we sign them up when our coaches have a better look at them. They're all 1.5 star current ability, so they'll be quite decent. And they're all fairly professional or fairly determined, which is also really, really good. So the first one we're going to look at is Eric Massey, who is a right attacking midfielder, striker. Good. Very good. I like him straight away. Argues with officials and looks to pass rather than attempting to score, which we might have to get rid of. Maybe. We'll see, but I like him. He's good. He's small. He's good. It's very good. Very good. His consistency is a little bit low, and he's obviously jumping reach. But I don't care about his jumping reach. It's 3, but he's 5'6". That's absolutely fine. I like him. I do. I'm going to train him as a shadow striker for the under-18s. I like him. He looks good, doesn't he? I'm a fan. Again, we could be looking at Massey next year, or the next update, and he could be 5 stars or 4.5, and he could be knocking on the door of the first team. Really happy. This is such a good intake for us. Gianluca Mora is a left winger. Obviously, Masari is also a left winger, so these guys are going to have to rotate. Fairly professional again. 12 determination. A little bit like Masari, a bit of work to be done. Mentally a little bit better than Masari. Physically quite good. He's got dwells on ball as well. That's interesting. There's 2 players there with dwells on ball. I do wonder. So he has Anazi as a favoured personnel. I don't think that means much, though, because I think someone told me once that they literally sacked their head of youth a day before the youth intake, like as a test. They signed another one, and the players that came through had the new one. So I think it's just whoever's in the job. I don't think it necessarily means that's who brought them through. I wish that was the case, though. It'd give you a bit of an indication. Do you know what? One thing we could check, actually, is if we have a look when Cantarelli came into the job, we could have a look at our existing players in our first team about when they came through. For example, Zanotti. Has he got a biography yet? So he joined Livorno in 2028, right? Apparently, he joined us 6 years ago. Now, can that be the case because he's only 18? So that means he joined Livorno when he was 12, right? That's the correct maths, isn't it? He joined in January 2028, right? That is 6 years ago. Let's say 5 years ago. He's 13. So he joined us at 13. So he came through with Cantarelli. Now, what we can see is when those players that have just come through now get older, we can have a look like we've done at Zanotti and see when they came through, and it will probably coincide as to when Cantarelli was here. So I might just mark down the dates when I've signed youth intake players, youth intake head of youth development staff members, and we can sort of link them of when they came through to the correct staff member. I might actually do that. I've just thought about that now. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, I'll explain it. I'm rambling a little bit, but I'll explain it a bit more clearly when we get into the future, and I've written it all down. But I hope that you understood that. So Zanotti came through with Cantarelli at 12, 13 years old. That's quite nice. That is quite nice to know. Anyway, let's get back to those youth players. Let's have a look. Where? Get down here, because there's one more I want to check, which is Munir Mohamed, who is Moroccan and Italian, which is amazing. Fairly professional, can play right back, left back, and right wing back. Let's have a look at you. Right, first of all, he's left-footed. 2 dribbling, so he's not a wing back, he's a full back. But 15 tackling, that is really good. Physicals are good. Obviously, have to work on his acceleration, but determination's really low. I'm surprised he's not ambitious. That means he must have decent ambition if his determination's 2 and he's still got fairly professional personality. That is a really good sign. So I'm happy with that. These players are filling gaps in my under-18s team, so we can really play well. And I've got at the moment, I think we've got 6 under-18 players that are playing every single game, and then there's 5 grayed out players that are playing with them, and it's sort of the results are taking a bit of a hit because obviously Flauto's now not there, and Bonomi's not in there, so we're taking a bit of a hit with that. So these guys should hopefully fill in those gaps, and now we should have 11 good high potential players that are looking like on the verge of the first team in a couple of seasons, and our under-18s team should play better because now we've got 11 real players rather than 6 real players and 5 grayed out players who are not very good. So I didn't have a left back in the youth team, so Mohamed is that guy. Now I'm looking at Joseph Gyamfi here, and he's Ghanaian, and I'd love to sign him up because I love signing African players on FM. But he's casual. It's a casual personality, and it's really bad. Really bad. It's almost as bad as unambitious. No, I think it's worse than unambitious because I can turn unambitious round. I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to check, but I think it's worse. Let's have a look at him anyway because he's 4 stars. That's annoying because he's decent. He's decent. Everything's 6s and 7s, 8s and 9s. It's not really... 5 is bad at anticipation as a DM, but... I'm going to have a look at how bad casual is. Because I'm lacking on centre midfielders. I might end up signing him up. There are no promises just yet. The next one is Nunziatini, who is 1.5 star current ability, fairly sporting. If I like the look of his attributes straight away, because he's a centre midfielder, I'm going to sign him up and hope he changes to 4 stars or 4.5 and becomes a backup player for us. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, he looks quite good straight away, doesn't he? I've got to sign him up, I think. So, yeah, we're going to sign him up. I think that makes the most sense. So, Nunziatini is getting signed up. Mohamed, and then these guys are getting signed up. So, we're looking at that. I'll check for Gyamfi. We'll see. I'm not going to sign these guys up. They won't play, and the personalities are not very good, which is really good, actually. The worst personalities are down near the bottom. Obviously, there's 2 at the top, but we'll try and sort that out. The guys in the middle here, really good personalities, fairly professional. We've got 4 of those. 4 fairly professional is very good and are spirited. That's insane. So, how many is that? 3, 6, 9, 10 players to sign up. And really, we've got 6 really promising players. Probably the best intake so far, I think, which makes sense. I think when you do a youth-only challenge as well, you do see the growth of the intakes, so it makes sense that they're changing in the backgrounds. A lot of people play this game and think, youth intakes are just bad. It's probably because you've got really good players in your first team and these players don't stack up. I don't have amazing players, so these guys are 5 stars. That's really good. That is really, really good. Let's have a look at some of our actual first team players now and the ones that I think have improved the most. The first one, and you're probably not shocked at all, is Ricardo Bonomi. Now, I'm a little bit worried. He's getting better and better every single week, every single month. He's now worth up to 65 million. And he doesn't want to sign a new contract. I'll show you guys. Not interested. He would require Livorno's squad to be improved before he would consider extending. Now, I'm hoping some of these players do improve to the point where we'll see. I'm hoping our reputation goes up as well. It's not good because there's only 2 years left. That is his first deal that he ever signed. I thought I'd have more time, but he's improved so fast. So fast. We'll see. It's going to be annoying, isn't it? Because I don't need the money. I need him. You know what I mean? I need him because I can see him. He's 17, remember? He's like, how many months? He's 17 and a half. He's not even 18 or close to it yet. I can see him being in our Champions League squad once we get there. I really need to keep him. So I need to do something. I don't know what I need to do. Obviously can't buy players to improve the squad, so I'm going to have to hope that at the end of the season he has a rethink, the players are better, our reputation goes up, and I can get him on a deal. There might be a minimum fee release clause in there, but if I can just keep him, I'm going to keep him because obviously I need him on the pitch. Doumbia is another one I want to show you guys. I've played him in a game, the last couple of games. I've also started playing him off the bench a little bit as well. It looks like he's going down again, which is strange because he shouldn't be, really. If I have a look at his development tab, he's going up steadily since the start of the season, August. It has gone up quite nicely. He's keeping his 5-star potential, which is really nice. He's playing very often for the under-18s. I do think that now his performances in the under-18s are going to get a bit better because we've now got players to fill out the gaps. But I am playing him a few times off the bench. I do like him. He's very good. I think he's a couple of improvements away from being in our first team. Next, we're on to Nasri then, and Nasri is flying, honestly. His physicals have gone up really well, 12s and 13s in some good areas. He has started 9 games with a 6.82 average rating. He scored a goal as well. 6.82 is absolutely fine. Played 3 games in Serie B last season and got 6.93. So he holds himself quite well, and as you'd expect, really, he can defend. 16 tackling, 13 marking, 12 positioning. He's really good. We are working on his final third, which is his composure and his decision making, because he can sometimes cost us a little bit, but that's to be expected. So this guy now is my starting right back, and I'm just starting him all the time. Gardini is now our centre back, and Gardini is the next guy I'm going to show you. Here he is then. What a player Gardini is. Now his jumping reach isn't improving as much as I'd like him to have improved, but he's 6'2". He's got very good mentals for his age. He's only 18, remember. Very good technicals. He can play all across the back four. His value's improved quite well. He's played 26 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. I keep getting training messages about this guy saying you have to keep playing him. So guess what? We're going to keep playing him, obviously. It says he's a leading Serie C player, but he does really well. 6.84 in this division. He's nothing to be sniffed at. And I trust him. I mean, look at where we are in the league when he's played almost every single game apart from a couple of suspensions, because he has got 12 yellow cards. He does get a yellow card every other game, but that's because he's got a competitive streak, which is down there now. Another player I'm going to show you is Gisti. Now, Gisti this season has scored 10 goals and got 11 assists in 30 games, so 21 goal contributions in Serie A in 30 games, which is amazing. He's been better this season, in my opinion, than last season, which is so good. He's wanted to by Lecce, but I'm not worried about that. My reputation's going up, and those teams above us won't really want to sign him. He's got a decent value. We've got him for 2 years, plus another 3, so that's another 5. So by the time he's 24 and he looks like this, people won't be interested, but he's still good for us. And he's improving this year. He's improved a little bit. Gone down, but he's gone up again. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I do think he's sort of close to his potential, but I do still think there's some potential left. So we're going to keep playing him because he's amazing for us. And he's a good finisher. He's a really good finisher. He gets in some good positions. And I'm really happy with how he's playing right now. Frascadori then is the next player. And this guy has improved quite a bit. 10 marking now, up to 8 positioning. His tackling hasn't gone up, but honestly, that's absolutely fine. His mentals have improved. His physicals have improved. Everything's improved. I think his crossing and his dribbling at the start of the season was 12. Now it's 13, which is amazing. The craziest thing about this guy is I am playing this player with those attributes at left back as a wing back support in Serie A, and his average rating is over 7 with 6 assists and 3 goals. Now, obviously, I'm playing quite an attacking system, so that helps him out, but I don't know. Should he be doing that well? I don't know, but he is, and I'm happy about it. So I have noticed as well that we are conceding less goals and less shots as the season's gone on, as my defenders have got better with Gardini, Frascadori and Zanotti. And obviously Nasri as well, who's sort of the weak link at the moment. But by the end of this season, I'm hoping he'll be at the same level. And then next season, they'll go up again, and we should see... we should probably level out about as a mid-table team, which is really, really nice. I thought we was going to have to be fighting down near the bottom, but that's not the case at the moment. Next season might be different, but I'm quite confident. So Frascadori is very good. Now, his potential has gone down from 5-star to 4.5, which is fine. I think it's because Zanotti has got better, and he's sort of been compared to him. But if Frascadoria can become as good as Zanotti is right now, I'm absolutely fine, because that is probably a backup player over the next 4 or 5 years, which is absolutely fine to me. If I can have him as a backup left back eventually, and a worldie comes through because of our new upgrades, unbelievable. So Frascadoria right now is holding down that left back spot with absolute sensational performances. I've got to mention the main man, Flauto, then the talisman, the tall. Well, I mean, he's quite tall, 6'1". He's not really improving that much. I think he's sort of hit his level. He's just thought he's improved a little bit, gone down a little bit. I think this is his level. Again, it's fine for now because he's scoring 1 every 2 games, a little bit more actually. You wouldn't think so looking at his attributes, but no one's going to come in for him. He's not going to be hot property because he's not. Look at him at 19. You probably wouldn't sign him for your teams. He just works, and that's what I need. With Gisti and Flauto, they score enough goals and get enough goal contributions to keep us up, and no one else wants them, before our reputation can go up, and then we can get some really sick players through, like Bonomi and a couple of those that have come through today, hopefully, and then they sort of displace these guys, and then I've got Flauto as a backup striker. If a worldie comes through, because in Italy, there's some really good young players come through, so we just have to hold on. The next couple of intakes with these new facilities should come through, and we should be looking at some next level players where you guys are like, wow, this guy's going to complete this challenge with you now. We're looking at that sort of level of players next. So Flauto at the moment is holding it down. But like I said, if he gets replaced by a worldie, we have Flauto on the bench to bring on, which is amazing. Because we know he can do it. So, amazing. I'm going to mention Grossi because he's played a lot of games this season and did really well at the start of the season. But my prediction has come true, unfortunately. He's down to 4 stars current ability and he's just not getting better. I've had to take the decision now where he is a backup centre-back, which is absolutely fine, again, because last year he was a starter and this year he's backup. That is not a problem because this guy can hold his own in Serie A at the moment. So, not an issue with that, him being backup. It's a good backup player to have at this stage. But he's not going to get better. He just isn't. And Gardini's showing that he is going to get better. I'm getting training messages, and so is Nasri. So I've got to put them 2 in. Got to focus on that. There's no prizes for loyalty. So if I just have a look at his progress again, it's just sort of, it's not moving. It does a little bit, and I think, oh, okay. And it goes down a little bit, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then it goes up a bit. That is usually the case of a player. Not going to get much better. But again, it's absolutely fine, no problem. This is probably going to be the last update on Grossi unless something crazy happens and he goes up again. Don't think it will happen, but that's the last time you guys are probably going to see Grossi because he's not going to change, so you guys don't need to see anything. Bartolini is another one in that category. Now, he does really well when he comes on. He's come on 22 times. I trust him to come on, and he's done quite well. 6.82, 2 goals, 3 assists off the bench, some nice little late goals and assists, some good performances. His technique is really helping him out, and his either-footedness really does help him out on the wing, because he can go down the right-hand side and cross it. He can come in and put some ball over the top. But yeah, he's really good on that right wing, especially if someone gets suspended. We just move it around. Gisti usually goes up front if Flauto's injured. Fantagiato can play either wing and attacking midfielder, and then this guy just comes on at right wing. And he does really well, but his potential has gone down again like I thought it would, and his progress sheet it's gone up a little bit at the moment. I think that's since Serie A, but again, I think he's levelled out now in the last couple of months, which is absolutely fine. He's a decent backup player for us right now, and that is no problem. Just a little quick update then. Obviously, last time I was here, I think we left it before the Atalanta game. We beat Atalanta 2-0. Oh, no, it would be before the Fiorentina game, actually. We lost 3-1 to Fiorentina. I scheduled a friendly because it was 3 weeks. And then we went on a bit of a terrible run, and I'm thinking, oh, no. We had an awful January, and I'm thinking, right, the wheels have come off. Have we got enough points to stay up? And thankfully, it turned around. I didn't change anything. It just turned around in February. I don't know if that was just a couple of losses to Fiorentina and Napoli, which makes sense. And then the Coppa Italia defeat by Inter Milan, 3 in a row, sort of plunges the morale a little bit. And then we lost Cagliari 3-1. We only drew with Monza. Then we lost to Bologna, who we beat before. I'm thinking, oh dear. Oh no. And then we turned it around with Salernitana. We drew with Udinese. We drew with Roma, which was nice. And we beat Cremonese, beat Torino, beat Brescia. All took only 1 goal, though, apart from Torino. And then we just drew with Hellas Verona. A bit disappointing because they're bottom of the league. And it was only 1-1. And I don't actually think... I mean, we should have won the game, but the draw was probably fair. It looks like we should have won, but I don't think we did. And then we did enough, to be honest. And the last couple of games, last 8 games, we've got Lazio, AC Milan, Juventus, Inter Milan, Atalanta, and Fiorentina. So I'm expecting a few losses in this, but like I say, if we look at the league table, we are safe. We're 20 points clear of 13th, which is mental to me. So the lowest we should finish is about 11th, which I'm absolutely delighted with. The season preview still has us down at the bottom. Monza are 19th, and we're twice as bad as them, apparently. I'm fine with that because obviously we're doing really well. And if as long as these teams think that we're the worst team, they're going to keep attacking us, keep leaving spaces in behind, and we're going to keep attacking it and hitting them on the break. So all in all, good season, very good season, good upgrades, good youth intake. I'm really enjoying it. We've got good numbers on the save. You guys are watching it. You guys are leaving comments. It's fantastic. Leave likes on the video as well, please. They're really helpful. And comments, like I mentioned. And the main one is subscriptions to the channel. That helps me grow so much. Please just scroll down. It's literally one scroll. Hit the button. Done. Free. Don't have to think about it for the rest of the day until I pop up again in your inbox. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, take care.